Hey y'all, it's John Trent from Bounding in Comics, and boy oh boy, do we have the hottest of hot takes from Kevin Smith for you today. But before we get into it, I'd like to ask if you could please hit the subscribe button. By subscribing, you help more people see our videos and help us keep making videos like this one. We are currently at a little over 6,000 subscribers and are aiming to hit 10,000 by the end of March. So if you could please help us reach our goal, that would be greatly appreciative. And if you've already subscribed, thank you very much. So let's get into this. Masters of the Universe Revelation showrunner Kevin Smith took to Twitter to claim that the Marvel Cinematic Universe depiction of Captain America wielding Mjolnir as seen in Avengers Endgame is going to provide humanity with divine inspiration. That's what he said. I'm not kidding. Let's look at this. Look at this tweet. He wrote, "Religions have been founded on the Bible, resulting in millions of people deriving inspiration and moral strength from amazing stories about fantastic feats of faith. Hundreds of years from now, our descendants will find divine inspiration from the story of Cap wielding Mjolnir." I'm kind of flabbergasted at this. The gall of this statement is just enormous. It's shocking, despite it being only two sentences. And I feel like I'm kind of been desensitized to shocking statements, and maybe this one shouldn't be as shocking as how I'm kind of reacting to it, but it is. This is a shocking statement to me. I just can't believe that you would say that you think that Avengers Endgame depiction of Captain America wielding Mjolnir is going to provide people in the future divine inspiration. It's absurd. It's absurd to say that. It's insulting too. But I guess before I go any further, we should define what divine inspiration is. As defined by Merriam-Webster, it is, quote, inspiration that comes from God. So if I'm reading this right, it looks like Smith is saying that future generations will receive divine inspiration from Captain America, and more specifically, the story showcased in Avengers Endgame. It appears that Smith is attempting to deify Captain America. Now, that would be a really interesting story to see trying people deify Captain America. I think that would be a really interesting story. Maybe that's what he's doing here, but that's not what it looks like. He looks like he's being serious. But I think that would be an interesting story, seeing these superheroes kind of being deified. And they've kind of done that. You've seen these stories in the past with Superman and stuff. But Smith is actually he's kind of taking it a little step further here and saying that people in the future, our descendants, will see Captain America as some kind of god. And that's absolutely crazy, especially if you look at Captain America's story throughout the MCU. In case you forgot, Captain America is heavily implied to be a Christian in the MCU during the first Avengers film, when Thor takes Loki out of custody, and then Iron Man gives chase. Captain America also plans to give chase. Black Widow tells him, "These guys come from legend. They're basically gods." Cap replies, "There's only one god, ma'am, and I'm pretty sure he doesn't dress like that." Cap then proceeds to jump out of the aircraft.
Now there's that guy.
Another Asgardian?
The guy's a friendly?
Doesn't matter. If he frees Loki or kills him, the Tesseract's lost.
Stark, we need a plan of attack.
I have a plan. Attack.
I'd sit this one out, Cap.
I don't see how I can.
These guys come from legend. They're basically gods.
There's only one god, man. And I'm pretty sure he doesn't dress like that.
Given that Captain America is already taking issue with the idea that Thor or Loki could be considered on the same level as God, it's highly unlikely he would want people worshiping him as a deity or believing that he was one. And that's him as a fictional character. He wouldn't want that. And I want to repeat that. He is a fictional character. The fictional character would not want people worshiping him as a god, as Kevin Smith is saying people will. Not only would Captain America disagree with Smith's notion, but Avengers Endgame came out less than a year ago. The film has not even been out of theaters for a year, and Kevin Smith is saying people are going to be looking at Captain America wielding Mjolnir as divine inspiration. The Bible was first printed in 1611. Christianity has been around for over 2,000 years, and Judaism was established in 1812 BC, which was almost 3,800 years ago. It's highly presumptuous to think that a 2019 film, again, one that hasn't even been out of theaters an entire year, could reach the level of the Bible, especially when that film features a heavily implied Christian wielding Mjolnir. It's galling. Like it's just galling. This idea, it's so preposterous. But what this did remind me of, it reminded me of Joker actor Mark Maroon. Probably butchered his name. Previous description of Marvel Cinematic Universe fans. So if you remember, Maroon went on one of the talk shows and he described Marvel and comic book fans as male nerd childs. And then when he got a bunch of backlash, he took to Twitter and he described them as outraged religious fanatics. And this is what he wrote on Twitter. He said, "Hey, Marvel movie fans, stop acting like outraged religious fanatics defending their belief system. It's okay if I don't believe. Let it go. Also, I'm actually a big fan of a lot of comic art. Try to relax your mainstream asses." And I mean, what Smith is saying is pretty much confirming what Mark Maroon was saying. Looks like people might actually be treating these movies, at least Kevin Smith is, as some kind of religion, and seeing it as a religion. And that's kind of unnerving if you think about it. These are movies. Yes, they tell entertaining stories, and you can argue that they can relay values and give viewers inspiration, but at the end of the day, they are movies, and they are movies that are adapted from Marvel Comics. And they are fictional stories. Maybe Kevin Smith needs a reminder that they are just movies. He definitely seems to be taking his love of the comic book genre one step too far. What do y'all make of Smith's comments? Do you think he took it a step too far? Let me know what you think in the comments. My name is John Trent, and you've been watching Bounding into Comics. Until next time.